Good day, good day. It is a pleasure getting across to you again. I want you to get all the materials that will enable you to put down some information and so that you'll be able to revisit them after this class. We are going to look at a topic tagged consumer protection, and this is under commerce. When we say consumer protection, so what do you understand by consumer protection? You've been patronizing people selling things around, and you've been buying one thing or the other. You've been enjoying some services from time to time, and that qualifies you as a consumer or as a customer to those people that are selling or producing such an item or that are rendering that particular service to you. So when we say consumer protection, so what do we mean by consumer protection? Before we go ahead and look at this, so we are going to first of all run through the learning objective. At the end of this particular class, we are expected to be able to define a consumer and consumer protection. Then we are expected to give the meaning of rights and the consumer rights. And you are also expected to be able to explain consumerism. You should be able to list and explain needs for consumer protection, list and discuss various organs of consumer protection, and lastly, discuss the importance of consumer protection. First and foremost, we'll be looking at the definition of a consumer and consumer protection. What's the meaning of a consumer to you as an individual? A consumer is an individual, household, organization that makes use of a product or service of a firm. For example, one that is a commuter or a learner or somebody that is a parent in a school. So all these category of people, they can be described as consumers. What is the meaning of consumer protection? To protect simply means to defend or to shield an individual or to shield a customer from the sharp or dangerous practices of manufacturers or producers. So when I say consumer protection, so these are the series of efforts put in place by producers, consumers, and organs of government to shield consumers from being exploited or cheated. What is the meaning of consumerism? Consumerism, these are the series of efforts that are aimed at promoting the interests of consumers. In other words, it is the protection of the rights and interests of a pool of customers. Examples of consumerism include enforcement of consumer rights, establishment of consumer protection councils or agencies, and establishment of standard organizations like Standard Organization of Nigeria, and so on and so forth. So all these different organizations and institutions, so they are established to ensure that the consumers are actually not denied their rights in using a product or in enjoying a service. And moreover, it is expected that the sellers, manufacturers, or producers should see the customers to be kings to them in the course of selling things to them or in the course of rendering a service to them. Examples of consumerism include enforcement of consumer rights, establishment of consumer council standard, and establishment of standard organizations like the Standard Organization of Nigeria. What is the meaning of consumer rights? Rights ordinarily are the privileges that one is expected to enjoy, and therefore consumer rights are the privileges that customers or consumers are expected to enjoy. And examples of consumer rights include right to life, that is, the ability to be able to continue to enjoy or live peacefully after using a product or after enjoying a service. So it is the right of the consumer to be able to continue with his or her life after using a product or enjoying a service. Then 2, right to be informed. That is, a lot of information accompanying the various products or services so that the customers or consumers will be able to derive maximum satisfaction. For example, some of this information could be information on maybe how to use the product, how to actually get the best from such a product. Then the next one is a right to be heard. The consumers are expected to be able to lodge, complain, or give their own view about a product or service. In addition, right to a fair price. So when products are offered to the customers or consumers, such a price should be competitive and should be very fair. In other words, it should not be too exorbitant, or it should not make a hole in the pocket of the prospective customer or consumer. Then the next one is right to a redress. When a particular consumer discovers that he or she has been denied of some of his rights, some of his or her rights, or that he or she has discovered some shortcomings or lapses in a product or service. So such individuals has the right to plead or pray the court to pray the court to help them to enforce their fundamental right as a customer or a consumer. For example, it could be to pray the court to pay, as the producer, to pay some compensation, or to replace maybe a product that has been discovered to be faulty to them. Then right to decent environment. So in the course of producing goods and services, manufacturers are expected to observe some level of decency in the society. In other words, they should not just release their waste materials or products to the drainages or the environment without actually treating them, so that they will not have any adverse effect on the consumers. In addition, we have right to good things of life. So customers or consumers should be able to choose or decide on what is good or what is the best thing that they want or need at a particular time without any hindrance or restriction. Right to quality, we equally have right to quality product, that is, products that are brought to the market or that are brought to the market should be of an internationally accepted standard. In other words, it must not be a substandard item or product before they are pushed to the market. What are the various needs for consumer protection? The various needs for consumer protection include the following. 1. Need to prevent hoarding. Hoarding is simply an intentional withdrawal of product from the market to push up the price of such product. So it is an act or an action against a prospective customer or consumer when this type of situation occurs or happens. So one of the reasons why consumers need protection is to ensure that goods are made available every now and then. So nobody should intentionally withdraw such products so that the price will be increased. Number 2, need to prevent hike in price. That is, sellers or manufacturers or producers should not just come up or wake up in a day and then increase the price of their product beyond the reach of an average consumer or customer. So the price that the manufacturers or sellers are going to offer product should be fair or should be affordable. Then number 3, need to prevent poor quality products. So products that are sold in the market are expected to meet certain international standards in terms of quality. So every product that is put to the market must have been able to meet this particular international standard before they are actually offered for sale. They need to prevent adulterated product. Nowadays, we discover that a lot of products are adulterated, that is, they are faked. In other words, you can have a toothpaste, for example, like a toothpaste that is not from a particular manufacturer. So you can discover that maybe somebody somewhere can go ahead and make a similar product that looks like that particular product from that manufacturer. So that type of product is described as a adulterated product. So the consumers need to be protected to ensure that products are not adulterated and sold to them. Then, in addition, there's need to avoid unnecessary court cases. Customers, when they discover that they've been denied of their rights or when they've been cheated, can decide to approach the court of law and play with the court of law to help them to enforce some of these rights that they are supposed to enjoy. So in order to avoid unnecessary court cases or situations that can lead customers to go to the court of law, so there's need to protect consumers. They need to protect consumers against sales of low quality goods. That is, goods must be of the highest quality and must be of internationally accepted quality before they are actually sold or put to the market. They need to protect consumers against usage of wrong packaging materials. It is possible for manufacturers to use wrong packaging materials. For example, maybe a product that is supposed to be packaged using a plastic container. If the manufacturers decide to go and use a cartons or boxes, so that may be very wrong of such manufacturers or producers. So to prevent that type of situation, so there's need to protect consumers against non-usage of the appropriate packaging materials for products. And finally, there's need to protect consumers against harmful and unsafe products. So products that are used by consumers or customers should be safe. It should not have any negative effect on their lives or on their health after using such a product. Then there is also need to protect consumers from any form of restriction of choice. When customers or consumers eventually get to the locations where they are supposed to buy a product or use a product, such product should be accessible, should be available without any restriction, without anybody limiting them or hindering them from getting such a product. In addition, there's need to ensure maximum satisfaction. So customers or consumers are expected to be able to derive an amount of satisfaction that is equal to the cost or to the amount of money that they are spending in obtaining such a product or in getting or enjoying a service. So they should be able to get back satisfaction that is equal to the money that they've spent. What are the organs of consumer protection? When we say organs of consumer protection, we are referring to the various institutions, bodies, and organizations that have been put in place to defend or protect consumers. And the various organs of consumer protection can be classified into three. And we have government, the first one, government organizations. Number two, legislations on consumer issues. Number three, private organizations. And when you say legislations for consumer protection, we have various or series of laws or acts that have been passed by various federal houses of assembly and the state houses of assembly. So these particular houses of assembly, like the Senate and the House of Rep, so they actually make laws or put laws in place that are meant to defend or protect consumers from time to time. For example, we have a Sales of Goods Act, and which is established to ensure that consumers can actually have access to the exact product that they need, and that they are not equally deceived into buying a particular product or a wrong product. We equally have Weights and Measures Act, which is which was put in place to ensure that when goods are declared, maybe to be of a particular weight or to be of a particular measurement. So at the end of the day, such a product should not be discovered to be having a different weight or measurement. For example, for a packet of tablet soap, so there's a particular weight or measurement that it should have. So if it's supposed to have maybe like 1 kg, so at the end of the day, the pack of such a tablet soap should be able a pack of such a tablet should be up to 1 kg, or when it is weight, it should be up to 1 kg. Then we equally have Hire Purchase Act, which is a law that governs how the title to assets are actually passed from the title holder or the person who is the owner to the buyer at the end of the day. And mostly Hire Purchase Act has to do with assets, for example, like land and building, motor vehicle, equipment, machinery, and so on and so forth. Then we equally have a Consumer Protection Council Act. This is an act establishing this particular organization that is meant to protect or defend the rights of consumers. We have Rent Act. Rent Act is also one of the laws that has been established to ensure that the tenants who are the consumers here, that they are not exploited, that they are not denied of their rights. We have various organs of consumer protection also in form of various institutions or organizations that have been established. For example, we have National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control. So this is one of the government institutions or organizations that have been established to ensure that products are not just produced and brought to the market before they are actually taken to the market. So they must have been certified to be of standard, to be devoid of any danger or harm to the prospective customers before they are actually taken to the market by NAFDAC. Then we equally have Standard Organizations of Nigeria, and this is another government organization that ensures that any product that is manufactured or produced, that they are able to compete with any other product, any similar product from another country. In other words, for example, if we look at a beverage product, so that is produced here, so Standard Organization will ensure that that type of beverage product is competitive and is able to match the quality from any other part of the world. So we have Standard Organization of Nigeria, like I mentioned, that ensures that the international standard that is expected of any product is maintained by the manufacturers or producers. Then we equally have a National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, which ensures that products are not just produced without taking the interests of the consumers into consideration. In other words, it ensures that quality products that are safe, products that are not defective are actually produced and then taken to the market. Then we equally have Federal Environmental Protection Agency, and this is another agency of government that protects consumers against the release of effluents or waste products to the society, or it could be the release of waste products into water bodies, it could be release of waste product into the air, or it could be release of water of waste materials even onto vegetations and plants. So this particular body protects the environment so that it will be habitable to the prospective customers or consumers. We actually have National Electricity Regulatory Council. So this is another organ of government that protect prospective customers or consumers of electricity to ensure that they are not charged too exorbitantly, and that they are equally able to get quality service from the generating organizations and distribution companies. We equally have an organization like Lagos State Consumer Protection Agency, and this is an agency that is established by the state government to ensure that consumers are actually defended or protected from excesses of manufacturers or producers. We equally have private organizations like mass media, trade associations, consumer associations, and Consumer Protection Council. So all these, they are private organizations that are established or put in place to ensure that consumers or customers are not denied of their rights. What are the benefits of consumer protection? The benefits of consumer protection include: 1. It enables consumers to enjoy goods and services to the maximum, that is, without any restriction or limitation. 2. It prevents price increase caused by artificial scarcity. That is, it enables customers to be able to obtain or get products at a reasonable and fair price. Then number 3, it makes high quality goods and services available to customers also. Number 4, it promotes constant supply of essential goods and services like electricity and water supply. So this type of organizations, so they ensure that the public or the citizens, they are able to get or access essential goods and services from time to time. Then, in addition, it prevents consumers from dangerous or expired goods that could be harmful. So goods that are harmful are prevented from circulation or from the market. Furthermore, it discourages consumers from using deceptive weights and measurements, and it helps in protecting consumers from false advertisement. In conclusion, consumers generally are believed or seen to be kings today. Therefore, in order to support this claim, there is need to ensure that consumers are treated as such, that is, as kings. There's need to actually shield consumers from the excesses of producers and sellers. Assignment. You are expected to 1. Define the following terms. A consumer. B, consumer rights. C, consumer protection. D, you are expected to state 4 rights of a consumer. And 2A, you are expected to list and explain 5 needs for consumer protection. B, mention 5 organs of consumer protection. Reference materials. 1. Simplified and Amplified Commerce for SS by Femi Longe et al. By Longe Publishers. 2. Commerce for SSS by Aukana et al. Africana Publishers. Number 3. Comprehensive Commerce for SSS by J.U. Anyali, Johnson Publishers. Thank you for your time, and God bless you.